Hello everyone and welcome to Club Deck Corner here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. I am Scott Carney. Joining me tonight on a Monday because we're playing football on the Tuesday, which affects my OCD a little bit because we always record on a Tuesday. Ryan Haymarch, how's it going, mate?
Good, glad Monday is by, mate. It is weird doing a pod on a Monday night. Usually I'm just going to sit on the couch at this time, think to myself, that's the worst one out the road with. But these Tuesday games, I'm all over the place. But last week, we did play Tuesday last week, didn't we?
Yes.
It was a vet on a Tuesday. And I thought, I woke up on Thursday morning, I was like, it's Friday, and I'm just all over the place with a Tuesday game. So it's going to be the exact same this week, mate. But as long as Rangers win and do the business, don't care what day it is.
Yes, we don't care what day it is, mate, that's for sure. Yeah, no, the Tuesday games, it throws a spanner in the works for our podcast routine, mate. I kind of shaped my life around Rangers games and the podcast, and I've got to move the podcast about. It's a bit... catches us all out, I suppose. Hence why there's only just me and you here, mate, to be honest. Because it catches us all out.
Whisper that you put your life around your kids and your family and important things, not Rangers.
No, not Rangers, no. Sorry, Hen. She'll not be watching, mate. They'll be all right. I'll probably get away with it. Before we get into things, just a shameless plug. To support the podcast to reach the next level, you can join the YouTube channel for as little as 99p a month. You can also buy the podcast a coffee and join the Coffee Buying Legend membership via buymeacoffee.com. All the links are in the description for this podcast. If you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your mates about us, that would be appreciated. We are under 500 now to get to 5,000, which is a bit crazy, but that's our target. Our next target is 5,000. So if you could help us get there, we would very much appreciate that. Right, Ryan, we'll start with the 2-1 win over Morton at the weekend. First off, I do need to apologise for the lack of reaction video on Saturday. I was at a wedding, and that's kind of self-explanatory. I thought I was going to have time. I didn't have time, and I decided just not to bother with it, so I do apologise. The boys did do one. They did send it to me, but I just didn't get to doing it, and I was in no fit state yesterday to do anything at all. I also got stung by a wasp yesterday. Like, what is going on in the world, mate? Right in my back as well.
Everywhere.
I know. What is going on? Anyway. But yeah, I was having far too much on my wedding. Not my wedding, at our wedding, but it was a really good day, and I just didn't have the time. So I do apologise. We very rarely do that, to be honest. We usually always bring something, but again, I know some people will have been waiting for it, so I do apologise. 8 changes were made to the starting 11, mate. Matondo getting a start, as well as Ifeko getting a start at left back and Sterling at right back. When you seen the team, mate, what was your thoughts on it? Did you expect as many changes?
No, I didn't expect as many changes, but I was glad that it was going to be a bit of freshness. Obviously, we went into quite a deep conversation during the week about changing the fullbacks, needing a bit of freshness, just give the fullbacks a kind of a rest. So I was glad to see that. Changing midfield in terms of John Lundstrom, I don't know, maybe it's a token thing, but I didn't see him coming in. I thought he was maybe going to keep things, players ticking over for Tuesday, but he's decided to rest a few, which I totally understand why he's done that. And changed it a bit up top as well. We're giving Matondo a run. And Kieran Dill got a start as well, didn't he? So I was pleased to see different faces, just a bit of freshness about the starting lineup. So there was nothing too negative about that, mate. I was quite happy, and obviously I'm banging the drum all the time about the fullbacks and etc. So you can imagine I was like, right, you've got a point to prove. Go out there and show Michael Beale what you can do, or how you're different to what's already getting played. So I was happy with the lineup, mate. It was fresh.
Yeah, I didn't expect as many. I'm not going to lie. When I seen it, I thought, oh, it's quite a drastic change. And should I be shocked? I don't know if I should be. The fact that he didn't rotate the keeper, I just presumed that he would. I just presumed that he would play McCrory. I don't know why. Maybe that says more about maybe what's happening to McCrory down the line or the rest of this window. Very possibly. I don't know. Yeah, you can read into it what you will, I suppose. But yeah, no. When I seen the team, I thought, oh right, okay, this is something a bit different. And yeah, but I still thought there was more than enough there to be able to with no disrespect meant, but to cope with Morton and to make it a kind of a rather routine day. Which, why do I think that with Rangers? Why do I think anything's going to be routine, mate? Honestly,
sorry, mate. See, I think the big one that I didn't mention was, and we'll probably go on to him, I'd imagine tonight, but there was 2 players that, because he didn't start, I thought, okay, like this is Yilmaz was the obvious one. That's a third one, but 2 players that I thought, if you don't start today, and they didn't, then I'm doubting that you've got a career here was Yanis Hagi and Kemar Roof. I thought if you don't start, because you're getting your cameos, you're getting your 10 minutes here and there, you'll probably get a start against Morton. And because they didn't start, mate, that was probably the one that raised the eyebrow for me, that they didn't get a start against Morton.
Yeah, I picked Hagi in my team on Friday night. I picked to play him. I presumed if you were going to rotate that much, then why would you not play Hagi? But we'll come on to that, mate, because obviously there was comments and that made afterwards, so we will come on and speak about that slightly. So, and again, I'll caveat all this is after knowing the outcome of the game. I didn't see the game until Sunday. I didn't watch the full game back until Sunday, so obviously it's slightly different. I wasn't at the game. Neither was Ryan. Ryan had other things to do, and it does change the way you kind of look at the game. And obviously there was a certain result happened yesterday as well, which again completely kind of changes the way that you think about the game. But I'm going to try my hardest not to. I'm going to try and just base it on what I was seeing with my own eyes, and it wasn't great. I'm not going to lie, it was not good. The game should really have been out of sight, mate, in the first half. But instead, we ended up resorting back to the same side-to-side passing because we hadn't scored, we hadn't took the chances that were created. The brightest spark of the first half, probably the majority of the game for Rangers was Matondo. He was giving their right back a torrid time. But again, mate, there's just a lack of killing edge, a lack of, okay, we can create all these chances, yes, but you have to score. You
have to score, and there's a I mean, we just sold a boy who did the exact same thing. He would make the good runs and he would have the good play. He would get the chance on goal and he wouldn't convert. He wouldn't convert the chances. And Fashion Sakala and Matondo's very much like that. He doesn't seem to have the killer touch that you need to put games away and put the ball in the back of the net. But he was unlucky with his one that got cleared off the line. But yeah, he did. I'm not going to slate the guy. He had a good game. Yes, it was against Morton, but it gives you something different, Matondo, with his pace, because I'll still stick with this. I feel at times when we're not passing the ball forward, we're such a slow team. But when we break and you get, I think Matondo got 2 or 3 balls in the first half. I mean, he's rapid. If you get the ball in front of him and something to run onto, he's absolutely rapid. I think was it Lundstrom or Goldson, I think it was. One of them pinged a long ball to the early doors.
Lundstrom's ball. Yeah, the way he took it was brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, and we're obviously Connor Goldson is another one in the team who's very good at playing that long diagonal ball. We used to do it with Ryan Kent all the time, and that's, for me, that's an option that maybe a lot of fans don't want to think about, but I think Beale's got to think, right, if it's not working in the game, do I bring Matondo and start looking for the long ball? I'll change it up a bit. It just gives us something different. But yes, it was a bit frustrating as the first half went on that we just, again, weren't converting the chances that we were creating. We just weren't getting the ball in the back of the net, and we should have scored. We should have scored a couple anyway.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Throughout the game, their keeper had a bit of a stormer. He's made some cracking saves. He really has. But again, I don't really like using that as an excuse. We should still be doing enough. We should have, with all the chances that we do create, our conversion has to be better, because right now it isn't, and it's all well and good creating all these chances, but if you're not going to take advantage of them and score at least 2, 3 of them, then you're kind of banging your head against a brick wall. And I do think the tempo that we're playing at, it needs to be increased domestically. It really does. I think we're so quick to go back into just slow, kind of laborious passing for passing's sake. Everything taking 5 or 6 seconds longer than it should, and it should just be getting moved a lot quicker. But we become really quite safe. We become really quite safe, and it's a frustrating thing to watch. It really is frustrating. And again, it's a game that should have been rather straightforward for us. If we'd have went 2-0 up, 3-0 up in the first half, then fine, take your foot off the gas, make as many changes as you want, mess about with the formation. But the point is, mate, is it's taking this team to go down before we see a reaction, and we can't continue to do that, because it's already caught us out this season. Happened at Kilmarnock, mate. This is something that the team need to snap out of quickly.
I would quickly, as in what, 24, just circa 24, 25 hours, because there's a train coming in PSV, and I know we're going to speak about it, but there is no, like I said the other day, there's no hiding place anymore for these Rangers players. They can't have these off days anymore, because we've got a huge 3 weeks coming up, 2 weeks even, coming up in terms of Champions League qualifiers, Ross County, that lot as well at Ibrox. There is no hiding place, mate. They need to get up to speed. They need to up the tempo. And it'll be interesting to see if they do. It'll be interesting to see if they do have that in their locker, because it'll probably, in terms of the support, I think we're quite split. You'll get people who are saying that maybe likes myself or other people are being a bit too negative, a bit too critical. Might be the case. I'm just worried that I've seen all this before. And then you've got other fans who are kind of spot on with it. They're just back in the team, blah, blah, blah. But we just need to up the tempo a lot. I've seen it too many games now. You can only use the excuse of it's pre-season, they're new players, etc., etc. But that's not an excuse for not having the tempo, the desire. I think, again, I'm jumping ahead in the agenda. I'm doing an Ali Pearson here. But we brought a substitution on in terms of Yanis Hagi, who showed something, obviously eager to catch the eye one way or another. That's what I want to see from all the players, and I don't understand why I'm not seeing it, especially from some of the new signings who look as if they're just going through the emotions a wee bit, and you can't go through the emotions here, especially with the fixtures we've got coming up, because you will get caught out, especially in this Old Firm game. If you go through the emotions, the support will turn on you like bad milk. They will literally turn on you. So, yeah, there's no place to hide. They need to get up to speed very quickly.
Very quickly. So there's obviously a VAR decision brought their penalty round. A bit harsh. I don't even know how I would feel if we'd won a penalty that way, mate. It's one of those ones where you're like, I mean, by the letter of the law, it probably is a penalty. But when I seen it, I was like, I hate saying a soft penalty because a penalty's a penalty, but you know what I mean, don't you?
Aye. Listen, the player that brought it down has went down like a sack of mince. He's literally just thrown himself to the ground. It is probably a sore one because when you see the replay, Dessers looks as if his studs have just cut across his foot. So it would be a sore one. But the way he's went down, right, okay. But there's contact. VAR's going to look at it. They're going to say to the guy in the referee's ear, we think this is a penalty in here in the studio. Does he make contact? Do you see the contact we see? The referee's like, yes, I do. Well, that's a penalty. And it is, by the law, mate, you've got to put your hands up. He does make contact because he's done an off a swipe at the ball and kind of went through it, but it looks as if his studs have just went up the side of Broadfoot's boot. So there is contact there, mate. So I didn't, even though it was a stupid one and soft, I didn't really have too many complaints, and it was just a frustration, mate. I just thought, here we go again. Like, we just can't put the ball in the back of the net and then we give that penalty away. So soft, but I would be shouting for it.
Yeah, it's still a penalty, but it's one of those ones that it did. Obviously, again, I know I watched the game back, but as I say, I did try and take the knowing the final score out of it and watch the game just as I was watching it live. It's hard to do, I get that, but I thought, well, if anything else was going to go wrong in this game, then you would get a soft penalty put against you. Then that's pretty much right. But look, it's a letter of law. It's a penalty. They go 1-0 up, and then all of a sudden we react, mate. We get a penalty VAR decision of our own. Again, this is what VAR was brought in to do. On initial, when I was watching it back, as I say, I didn't really see anything. I didn't really think I seen anything, but he's got a hood of his jersey and he is pulling him back. Whether that affects him enough that he wouldn't get a proper contact in the ball to score, I don't know. That's the referee's decision, I suppose. We get a penalty and Dessers steps up and puts it away, mate. Dessers he's caused a bit of, what's the word? Not controversy, but you know what I mean. There's a discussion point now amongst fans. Disappointment might be the word, mate. It's becoming a talking point amongst the fans. Look, he links up with Danilo for the second goal. He does well to win the ball back. He slips in Danilo. Danilo's really smart with his footwork and gets the shot away, gets it under the keeper to make it 2-1. But Dessers is leaving that game with an assist and a goal, mate, and there's people not happy with him. Is this just the type of player that he's going to be? He's in and out of games, but he will have an effect. Is he going to be a frustrating striker, do you think?
Well, was it Ronald de Boer? I think it was Ronald de Boer that said about him that he can be frustrating, and he can, if he's on his game, he's an asset. If he's not, you're going to pull your hair out with him, and I'm already starting to see it. When Dessers stepped up to take that penalty, mate, I was nervous, and I said to my dad, I was like, this could probably make a break. Not being dramatic, make or break his career here with Rangers, because he's already not a favourite. I would say with majority of fans are kind of turning against him. Ibrox got a bit a bit kind of nasty with him at the Livingston game, would it be? I think it was, and he just had a frustrating day that day.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd got frustrated. There was a couple of times he was just giving the ball away, and the crowd were getting. It was when we were up 1-0, and the crowd were turning on him a bit. And I thought, if he misses this penalty here, how does he come back for this? Because Beale's already dropped him, brought him in for this Morton game to kind of give himself a chance. And then if you miss the penalty against Morton, where do you go from there? So I was a bit nervous for him. I won't lie to you, but he puts it away. We get the goal back. And I'll be honest, I thought this was a decent game on Saturday. I'm not going to say he stepped up a level, but he had a decent game. I've no complaints about him. Yeah, there was still a couple of times where I've accused him of overpasses. It's as if he's trying to get, I don't know if he's been given the instruction to keep the ball moving fast up front for Danilo, but he'll get the ball in the box and there's a chance to maybe shuffle it and hit it himself, and he's looking for the pass to Danilo or a 1-2 too quickly. Just a bit frustrating that way, but that might come in time, just at some of his decision making. But I thought he had a decent game. In terms of the penalty decision, take my manager's points off me here. If that's against us, mate, I am not having that. Like, if you look at Leon Balogun's reaction, he doesn't even look at the referee. He just runs back to the centre half. And then when I seen it, you obviously see his shirt getting pulled. Okay, it's an infringement. If that is a penalty, it's a penalty every week because shirts are getting pulled in the box every single.
Yeah.
So it's a can of worms, and I seen the usual lot on social media moaning about the penalties. The referees went by the law, so I've no. How do I say this? I've no kind of arguments against the penalty given both of them, but you need to then be consistent and always give penalties for that, which they won't. Because you'll see shots getting pulled tomorrow night in both boxes and there won't be penalties. So It is a bit of a can of worms. But yeah, under the law, we'll take it. But if that's against us again, I am not happy. But yeah, one each.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. It was one of those ones where I thought, maybe we get a soft penalty against us and it's kind of worked itself out straight away. People say things always even themselves out over the space of a season. Maybe that one was evened out on the same in the same game. But yeah, the second goal for us to score. It was Danilo that scored. I say Dessers did really well to go back and win the ball, gets it to Danilo, and Danilo is really, really smart and gets the shot away. I think it's safe to say, mate, that the fans are going to take to Danilo, I think, because of the type of player that he is. He likes to face the goal. He likes to have players in front of that he can drop the shoulder and beat and get himself just enough space just to get a shot off, and if they continue to go in, then I think he'll do himself absolutely no harm. A guy that's yeah, the fans seem to have taken to him already, mate, to be completely honest. I think it's important that Dessers and Danilo are scoring. I don't think Dessers was great. I don't think he was awful by any stretch of the imagination, because you can't really say that about a guy that's coming away with, I suppose I used to say it about Sakala. I'm kind of being hypocritical there. Anyway, but a guy that's leaving a game with an assist and a goal. But Danilo, I'm liking what I'm seeing, mate. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, you can see Danilo's got a bit of flair, and you can see, for me, in his first game at Ibrox, he was trying too hard. He was like, it was really
shooting.
You've seen it with
loads. It was like just getting the ball and just shooting.
Aye, and running about like a blue ass fly. Really, he was just all over the place. I felt, and I love that. I want to see players eager, but just need to settle down a wee bit. And he looks as if he's kind of hit the ground a wee bit now. Got his goal. What I do think about Danilo is, I think it was it a Servette away game? I can't remember. My memory's terrible. What was the first game we played? Dessers and Danilo together. Oh, let's say it was Servette. Was it Livy?
I think it was Livy. Was it not?
Right. I thought it was a game I watched on the telly. I don't know why. Did we play a tournament Kilmarnock? No.
No,
we didn't.
We'll Scotia when you need them.
I'm just needing somebody with a decent memory. I'm a nightmare for it. Anyway, somebody will be screaming in the comments when I watch this back.
Yeah.
So the first game they played Dessers up front with Danilo in behind them and kind of doing the work. Now that I've seen Danilo further up the park, that's where I would want Danilo. I think Danilo looks a lot more dangerous as your striker. And whether it's going to be Dessers, whether it's going to be Lammers, I don't know who it's going to be, or Cantwell doing the work round about him. He looks for me as if he's your number 9. He's your striker who, that finish was cute. He actually he probably didn't hit it the way he wanted to, but it doesn't matter. strikers will score so many goals like that. McCoist, I don't know how many goals he scored like that. So, and I'm not comparing Alan McCoist to Danilo before anybody jumps in the comments on that one. But I'll take goals from a striker like that all day. And as you say, he's warm to the fans. Probably when as a Rangers dad, I get a bit critical when players start hitting the badge and whatever, and they're just in the door. But if the fans are reacting to that, that's what I want to see. Players that have got an interaction with the fans, you can see he's enjoying himself already, and long may it continue. I do think that he's gonna get rid of there was a few comments a couple of weeks ago about, Danilo doesn't look great either. Let him settle in. He's got a couple of goals now. I've no concerns about him, mate. I think he's going to be fine for us.
You also mentioned Lammers there, mate, and I think it's probably important we speak about him. Not a good day at the office for him on Saturday. I thought he was extremely poor. Didn't think he was in the game really at all, and even when he was, nothing happened for him. It really didn't. He's one that's coming in for a bit of criticism as well, but I think the players need to understand that this is what it's all about to be playing for Rangers. Like, it's okay winning games, but we're not happy when you win games poorly, and it will always remain like that. But he's one that he's took a bit of a doing after Saturday. Probably quite rightly so, mate. I'm worried. I'm worried that he's a confidence player and we can't afford to just constantly have confidence players, mate. That's what I'm kind of seeing in him, because I think the player that we were seeing during pre-season and the player that we're seeing now, that's not the same guy. I'm just putting it down to that was just a bad game for him. I fully expect him to come back because there's something about him. I don't know what it is, but there's something about him that I quite like. But on Saturday, there was very little I liked.
I totally agree with you in terms of a confidence player. I think it was the first half against Servette at Ibrox. A couple of the boys that I stand with, the first half he was outstanding, like leaving players for dead. His movement, he's very vocal on the pitch. He's constantly roaring at everyone round about him. Obviously wants to win, and he was brilliant in that first half. Really, really good. And we were all kind of looking at each other and saying, this sounds as if we've overegged it, but this is how I felt at the time. I was like, we might have something, a jewel in the crown here. We might have a special one here. He looks like a diamond. He looks as if we've got something we really need, like a tin opener, as Ali said. In the second half against Servette, he disappeared again. Kilmarnock away, non-existent against Kilmarnock away, and then your Morton game there on Saturday. Sam Lammers is definitely a confidence player. What we need to do is get his confidence back. We can't just then disregard him, because Beale's obviously bought a couple of players in terms of Cantwell, Lammers. I wouldn't bring Raskin into that equation. Sima, who he's hoping are those tin openers, who are the players that can open the play up and create chances for us up top, because it's something we've been guilty of over the past couple of seasons, not creating enough chances. So Sam Lammers falls into that bracket. If he's low in confidence, let's find a way of getting his confidence up. He's had a shock on Saturday. It's done. Does he start tomorrow night? I'm not so sure, but we need to just keep persevering with him. He's a new signing, and I'm confident if he's on it and he does get his confidence back, he can be a big player for us this season. Because yes, this side of the coin we have seen, he does look poor at times. He falls out of games and his head looks down. But we have seen the other side where we've all get excited and he gets you off your seat as well. So let's hope we see more of that type of player, or that side of him, than we do the other side.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just going to put that one to bed with Lammers on Saturday. We'll say, just a bad day, mate. Okay, we'll go again. But yeah, I just...
You were nervous. You were like Scotia. You were nervous.
Yeah, but I just didn't think he was... I just didn't think he was great at all. I thought he was just particularly poor. Another guy that I thought was particularly poor, mate, after watching the game back, was Sterling. I don't know if that's really his position. I'm not really sure. But again, without being too hypocritical and people coming on and losing their rag and comments and stuff about what I'm about to say, did he just showcase for us what we miss when James Tavernier's not there?
In terms of the way we set up, this is my worry. We don't have it doesn't look as if we've got a right fullback. I think Sterling, for me, looks like a right back. He'll do his defensive duties, but you can see the job we ask in terms of a player to get up the park and a right wing back, he didn't look comfortable with that. For me, he didn't look comfortable with that. He looked as if I don't want to be overcritical. It's his first start.
Yeah, I know.
But he didn't look as if it suited him. You know how James Tavernier plays. He'll kick the ball in front of him and just gallop up the park. For me, Sterling looked as if he was looking for the short pass straight away, and he was looking to just gradually work up the park. And yeah, in terms of engine, in terms of how Tavernier takes us up the park, there's an argument for that. It takes a lot for me to say it because, especially during the week, I had a go at him. So yeah, there is an element of that. But he's another one where I'm the same as Lammers or anyone else, right? You've probably not had your best game. Yilmaz's another one. You've not had your best game. What can you do to perform the next time you're on? Whether Tavernier comes off a sub or you start, shows what you do have, because if it's not working for you, find a way of working into this team. We like a fullback that bombs up and down. If you can't do that, what can you do? Because this boy comes with clout. He comes with high recommendation from his previous manager, Alex Neil. Like I said, he's played down south. He's been a great player for Stoke, etc. So I'm not going to, another one with Lammers, I'll just park it. Sterling's not at his best game. I'll just park it. But you can definitely see he is not a like-for-like change in terms of James Tavernier coming out and him coming back in. I think now we know you've got a right back there in Sterling and not a right wing back. It might be fair to say.
Yeah, well, that's probably the nicest way to put it, mate. To be honest, I do think you're pretty spot on with that, and I do believe that it's we as Rangers fans, mate. See, when players don't play, we believe that they're better than what they are. We do it all the time. We've done it with so many players over the years that when they've not played for a certain amount of time, you build them up to be this player that they're ultimately not, or not at that stage anyway yet. And Sterling, for me, after watching the game, I was like, you're not what I thought you were going to be. You're not, and that's no disrespect to him. I know he's had a bit of a bad game, and it might be a work in progress for him to develop into the role that kind of Tavernier does. I do get that, but right now, for the calls of switch him out, put him in, and instead of Tav, I don't think we can. I don't think we can take that risk just yet.
I think you make a good point, mate. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you. It's just because you're right in terms of probably what I was saying during the week was I would look for a change at both fullbacks. But just now is not the time, as you say. Like it's not a straight swap. I wasn't, for me personally, I wasn't saying take Tavernier out and put Sterling in right now. If MD listens back, I wanted Tavernier playing Saturday. Sorry, I've lost my days. And gradually bring Sterling in throughout the season, because for me it does look as if he's going to be the future right back for Rangers because we have bought this boy. But yes, he looked lost at sea in terms of having nobody in front of him. Does he need a right winger to play in front of him? I don't know. Sorry, mate, I totally jumped in your point there. Apologies.
No, mate. No, I think you're only adding to my point, mate. I think I've by no stretch of the imagination am I writing the guy off. I believe there's something that could be done there. That we probably could develop him into that role, but I don't think he's, as I say, for the calls of play Sterling over Tav. After that, I'm going, maybe eventually, yes, but for right now, I don't think we can really afford to take the risk. And I'm a guy as well that has been slating James Tavernier as well this season. So, yeah, I just. Well, again, another one that was his kind of first start at right back for us, so you can't be overcritical, but I just think it highlighted to me that he's maybe not just ready yet, and maybe that's why the change hasn't happened as quickly as we would all maybe have liked. Yanis Hagi's the last guy I'll speak about today, mate, in regards to the Morton game anyway. I thought he looked pretty bright when he came on, to be honest. I think he was unlucky with a few of his efforts. He shot from the outside the kind of box and he turned with his left foot and it just went over the bar. That was a peach of a shot, very unlucky at that point, but it's kind of led on from there, mate. It's kind of grew arms and legs from there. And his post-match press conference, he said he respects the manager's decision, but he doesn't necessarily agree with it. He wants to play football. He's a simple lad. It's all about playing football. That's what he kind of kept reiterating. Now, obviously, it's been announced that he's been removed from the European squad. Again, I don't know how much I would read into that. I don't think that's a reaction from Saturday at all. But for Yanis Hagi, mate, end of the road for him at Ibrox now.
100%. I would be very surprised if he's not moved on before the window shuts. And I'd be very surprised if Scott Wright hasn't given him a few tips of where to go in Turkey. because I would imagine Galatasaray are sitting ready to go because he's so popular over there, his dad, I can't see him going anywhere apart from Galatasaray. It just seems as if it makes sense, as if it's a matter of time. There's always been rumours about it. His dad's obviously, like I say, a legend there. So Giannis will know that as well. He comes across as a passionate player, but I think he'll be vocal in terms of if he's not getting a game. But if Rangers aren't playing well or he's seen something in the midfield, I'd imagine he's constantly saying to Michael Beale, I'm fit, I can play just now. Whether you think he's good or not, it doesn't matter. If he's ready to play football, we can't deny him that. If Beale doesn't fancy him, let's move him on, get the money back in for him. That's the way I look at it. And I like Giannis Hagi. I think he always speaks well. He always tries his hardest. Do I think he's good enough for Rangers? I don't. I don't think he's good enough, mate. I've not seen enough for Giannis Hagi that makes me think once he's fit, once he's up to speed. I've just never been... I know Scotia really likes him. I think he's a good player. But I'm not saying he carries his name a bit, but I just think if his name wasn't Hagi, sometimes I think you wouldn't really consider him that much.
Mm-hmm.
I felt sorry for him when he was in that interview because you can tell he's pretty much resigned himself to leave, and that's what I took from it. I think these conversations, I know Beale's come out today and said, we've had the conversation with him, he knows that he wants to play football and he's not going to get guaranteed here. No one is, but I think the conversations are further on than maybe Beale and Giannis Hagi have kind of let on, especially for Hagi to be so vocal at the conference the other day there. But I'd wish him all the best if he does go, because he's always tried his heart out, Giannis Hagi, when he's been here. He's very unlucky to get that injury. And for me, I said I think I texted the group chat today, it annoys me when a player like that who's on his way out the door sticks out so much, because his application's right, his desires, and I go on about this all the time, it's tick box for me. His application, his desire, and his hunger for the ball, and how quickly he's turning, he's trying to move the ball. Why is other players not doing this, Carly? Why are we as a team not playing at that tempo that Giannis Hagi's doing? Yeah, he's probably trying to catch someone in the stand's eye that's not Michael Beale, but good on him, because he's trying to do it for Rangers and for himself. And I'm worried that why are we not playing at that tempo and also trying to impress and also trying to do things? But that's me going down the old negative route again, isn't it? So,
mate, I get it. I'm the same with Giannis Hagi. I've got nothing against him at all, but my problem is, see, when you're at a game and we need something to change the game and he's on the bench, nobody run about you saying bring Hagi on. Nobody's saying that. And I'm like, that kind of tells a story in itself, because I don't even see it. Look, he came on and he made a bit of an impact, but I think the bigger story is that he didn't start the game. If you're not starting against Morton, then you're not close. He isn't even close to the manager's plans by the looks of things anyway, looking at it. And I'm the same, mate. If it doesn't matter how much I like him, doesn't matter how much you like him, doesn't matter how much Scotia likes him. See, if Beale doesn't like him, he's not going to play, and it's as simple as that. So I think it might be best for both now that Giannis Hagi's moved on, and I wish him nothing but the best. I'd nothing against him at all. I think if he had a little bit more pace, you'd maybe be talking about a completely different player, but I think it's, for whatever reason, and the injuries is hard, and it happens to players. That's the thing. It's one of the horrible things about football is you can like a guy, you can have an injury that takes him out for over a year, and they never really come back the same, or they've lost their space, they've lost their place within the squad, and it does look like he's down the pecking order now. I'm the same, mate. I believe that he's probably... I also think that his comments of, I just want to play football and I want to start, that wasn't for Beale, that was for another team. That's him saying, I'm here, by the way, if somebody wants me, come get me. Yeah, that's the way I took from that. But I wish him nothing but the best. As I say, he was unlucky on Saturday, and I think he made a bit of an impact when he came on. But yeah, good luck to him. We'll see what comes of it, but I expect him to be moving on. So the next round, mate, we've got Livy at home the weekend of the 26th of September. Celtic are out, mate, and I'm not going to be coy about this or any way, shape or form, or lead somebody on and pretend that it's not an absolutely fantastic thing that they are not in the competition anymore, because they're the ones that have been winning it for God knows how long, and they've been stopping us winning it, mate. So in my opinion, mate, there is absolutely no excuses now. Michael Beale has to win this cup. I don't see how we can possibly think otherwise. Yeah, there's going to be other teams in this that fancies their chances, mate, but even for this round, it's a favourable tie for us. Getting Livy at Ibrox is probably one of the better ones we could have got. Maybe St Mirren at Ibrox might have been the kind of next one from that. That would have been a good draw, a kind of better draw or a similar draw. But right now, for me, mate, there is no excuses for us. We have to win that League Cup now.
No, that should be always your default thinking. And not just as fans, players as well, the club as a whole, the default thinking. In fact, whether Celtic are in the cup or not, is we win this cup now.
That's
like
true,
we win this cup, and then when Celtic go out, that should be the default thinking. That should be we'll beat Livingston now, and then we go again, and we win that cup. And it should be. I said at the beginning of the season, I want players who need to win, not want to win. Players that need to win trophies, and these players need to show an absolute desire to win these trophies, because we've been caught with this before, where Celtic have went out of the cup and we've thought, oh, that's good, we'll get a double here. Bang, St Johnstone win it because we are off it, or we don't show enough desire against Aberdeen or whoever else put us out those cups. And that can't happen. That cannot happen. This League Cup for me is huge in terms of players getting their confidence. If you get new players coming in here who have been sold probably the party line that you can come here and win trophies, well, here's your chance. Here's a chance at a first one. Yes, it's only the League Cup, but you know what the League Cup is? The first part of a treble. That's the way I'll look at it. And I'll get laughed at for saying that, but that's the way the mentality should always be at a club like Rangers. So they have to go out and win it now, but they can't take for granted that they will do so, because Kilmarnock have started the season very well. And I know we shouldn't be fearful of them, but you've got to have that in your mind that I would probably have taken any draw. If we'd got Kilmarnock away, I'd have been like, oof, that is going to be an absolute humdinger.
Same.
There's just McInnes has got them playing well. Hats off to them, and they look decent. They look as if they're organised and know what they're doing. So yeah, I'm kind of glad to avoid that tie, but Rangers really need to look at and show hunger to win this cup and make it the first silverware of this season.
Yeah, and not the only silverware of this season, but I think it would be massively important and beneficial and a real boost of enthusiasm into the club and into Beale if Beale was to go on and win that. I think right now, I see there is no excuse. I'm the same as you, mate. I expect Rangers to win everything, I really do, but not even more so now. As I say, I'm not going to I'm not going to try and pull wool over anybody's eyes. The fact that Celtic are not in this competition, we are favourites for it, and Rangers have to go and win it now. It is as pure as simple as that. Right, mate, we'll move on to the... Carry on.
Sorry, mate. I think as well, I don't think you can kind of downplay the importance for Michael Beale, as well as you said. See, for the kind of confidence among the supporter, I think it would go a long way to kind of unifying the supporter and bring the support together, because there are people in the pubs, in the stands, talking about Michael Beale, talking about players, so that I feel as if the support's very divided just now. If we won that League Cup, it would go a huge way to everybody just coming together and going, do you know what? This team do have something in them, and Michael Beale's got something in them. Let's just get together and see how this goes.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Absolutely spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on. Right, we'll move on to a rather massive game tomorrow night, mate. PSV are on their way to Glasgow for the first leg of the Champions League qualifier, playoff round, whatever you want to call it. There's about 5 names for it. But yeah, the press conference was today. Michael Beale, it was quite a lengthy press conference, actually. It was about 17, 18 minutes or so. Like he says, it's sort of usual things. Did mention Europe, the group stages of European football far too many times, though. Like talking about, I was like, stop saying that. Stop saying that. We all know, yes, we're definitely in the group stages of Europa League, but this isn't about that. But no, look, I get why he's doing it. He's trying to temper the expectations, I suppose, to a certain extent, because there's absolutely no doubt, mate, we're coming up against a decent outfit over the next 2 legs. 2 games against PSV is going to be very, very tough. Now he's pretty much pointed the finger at, we just need to have this set up for the second leg, and to a certain extent I agree with him. We have to remain in this tie, no matter what. We have to just stick with it and remain in the tie. However, I do think Rangers and Beale have to take advantage of the home crowd tomorrow night, because I believe Ibrox will be electric tomorrow night. I really do believe that. I think the noise will be spectacular and the players are really going to need to respond. But it's safe to say, mate, that Michael Beale needs the best performance out of these players that he's ever had tomorrow night.
Yeah, and the players own it. The players own it for bringing them to the club. He's obviously scouted them looked at them and decided they're the players that are going to bring glory for him. They're the players that are going to make him a success at this club. The job that he's been desperate for I don't know, since he was assistant here. So they should take pride in that, and they should know that they need to deliver for him and for the fans and for themselves. I totally agree with you in terms of the crowd. I think the crowd can play a big part. It's an old cliche, but they can play a big part. And Rangers need to perform tomorrow night, but we need to take it. For me, I think we need to take it to them. I think we need to make it uncomfortable for them. My worry is that the first goal's huge. I do feel as if they score the first goal, my confidence will be shattered. I don't know how the players will feel, but my confidence will be shattered if PSV score, especially if they score early, because the crowd will turn and they'll go the other way. If Rangers make this a tough game and show they're up for it, the way they did against Servette in the first half hour, and pass the ball quickly and throw themselves into tackles, the crowd love it. You know what Ibrox is like. It just goes up 2 or 3 notches, and the players will feed off that and they'll get that energy. And this is where the tempo's got to come into it. So in terms of getting the crowd going like that, it's in the players' hands. If they want to start the game like that, they can. If they start cagey and let PSV come on to them, they'll fancy it. Their wingers, I'm told, are a joke.
Rapid, absolutely rapid, mate. Yes, they are fast.
So, that's interesting. So I don't know if we're going to play 2 left backs and 2 right backs. I don't know yet. But you've got to find a way. You've got to find a way of dealing with that. If the scouting department, the coaching department have done their due diligence, they've scouted this team, they've looked at them, they've done their homework, they've sat the players down this week and said this is where they can damage us. The players they'll all have jobs to do. Tavernier, Barisic, the defenders, Raskin, who fills in, they've all got a job to do defensively. But offensively, we've got to go for it as well. We've got to take the risks. We've got to have shots. Even if the shot's not on, does it come off somebody? Does it go for a corner kick? Will we get a penalty? It can't be this overpassing with a slow tempo. They've got to get the crowd behind them. And if we go 1-0 up, we are due a good feeling, mate. We are due something coming for us because it hasn't been the start of the season we wanted. We've not hit the ground running. Some of the signings are struggling. But if we score first tomorrow night, the roof will come off that place and the players will know what Ibrox is all about, and that's why they've signed.
100%, mate. I think if they score early, I have the real fear. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm just saying I'm always honest, and people call us negative if they like. But I think if they get an early goal within the first 10 minutes, I don't know how this team are going to react to it, and Ibrox will fall flat, and it will fall flat quickly. The players need to come out and absolutely just go for it. They have to go for it. You've got nothing to lose. Well, to a certain extent, you've got nothing to lose because I know we've got the safety net of Europa League, but I don't really like talking about it, as I mentioned, with Bill constantly saying it. But Bill's saying that the players are saying this is where they want to be, this is where they want to play, they want to play Champions League group stage football. Go out and prove it, go out and show it to us all, go out and grab it, put in the performance of Bill's tenure. You're going to need to put in the best performance possible because they are very quick on the break, mate. Very, very quick. We'll need to be sharp. The biggest thing for us is just look after the ball. Look after the ball. No sloppiness. Everybody meeting their mark. Passes meeting their mark, and just stay with them, and you never know. I say use the crowd as best you can, hit the tackles, get the tackle spot on, get the crowd with you, and if we nick an early goal, mate, I absolutely agree. I think Ibrox will be absolutely rocking, mate, and it could really carry the team pretty far. But it's an exciting thing to be involved in, mate. It's an exciting tie to look forward to. It really is. I can't wait to hear it. It's been a wee while since I've had the hair standing on my neck at Ibrox, so I'm looking forward to hearing that again because I'm pretty sure it will be absolutely electric tomorrow. I'm very much looking forward to it. So before I let you get out of here, mate, do you want to predict a team? Do you want to predict a score? Be tomorrow night?
Oh, that's a bit interesting because I've not prepped anything, so we'll go. Oh, I nearly said Alan McGregor there. That was a good start. So I came for go Jack Butland, James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, John Suter, Borna Barisic, Raskin, Cantwell, Cifuentes. Gonna go. Oh, mate. This is brutal. Tico. Dessers. Danilo, is he going to start Dessers? don't know if he will. Don't know if he will. Is he going to play a wild card here? Like,
so obviously Matondo got included into the European squad as well for his pace, and I do get that. I'm not sure they're very good attacking. They can be questionable defensively. My biggest thing with what I think he'll play is to have a bit of width at some point, and I don't think will Matondo start. Look, it's tough this one. It's tough this one. I wouldn't be surprised to even see a midfield three mate of Jack, Raskin, and Cifuentes. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see.
Well, mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see a midfield three of that with Cantwell playing. I'd probably drop out Lammers, or he'll keep Lammers to obviously try and get a bit of width to both from. He might even play Seema and Cantwell, and maybe one striker up top. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Cifuentes, Raskin, and Jack all in that midfield three. I would not be surprised at that. If I see John Lundstrom's name tomorrow night on that starting 11, I will cry. I will actually cry. But yeah, so my team would be the same back five. I think he will play Cifuentes, Raskin and Jack, and I think it'll be Cantwell. Seema, Lammers, I don't know who else. Or Matondo. He might play Matondo, do you know what I mean, for pace? He might. And then Danilo up front. I don't see him going with two up front, not in the first leg. He will if he has to in the second leg, but I don't think he'll do it in the first. I think this will be a more conventional 4-3-3, if you like.
If we do go with that, and I totally get the reason why we would go Jacks, Fuentes and Raskin. What we can't do is what we were used to doing with Alfredo Morelos, is pump long balls up there.
Yeah, I know.
Danilo, for me, doesn't look as if he's going to hold strikers off until the midfield catches up when we need to get Cantwell. And if it's going to be Dessers or Seema, they need to be getting close to Danilo and allowing him to play football, because I did see it one of the first games. Who was it? My memory's shocking, by the way. I apologise to everyone that's watching. I think it was Newcastle. And Seema was up front and we were just punting the ball to Seema, and I thought, we can't do that anymore. We don't have Morelos or that style of player to hold the ball up. So, yes, I would go with Jack in the midfield totally for showing that up. But in terms of attack, it's a hard one. Who does he go to support Danilo up front? And then is it Dessers? Do you want Dessers to kind of be up close to him? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Very interesting to see what he does. But on you go, sorry.
Yeah, I think as well, you've got to remember these boys have played in Dutch football as well, so like he might be looking to use their experience in that as well. But I think this is one of them. Been thinking about it all day, mate, since I knew we were going to record tonight. I was like, I do wonder what he'll play. And then when I thought about Jack, Raskin and Cifuentes, I thought that could work. If he has Jack sitting, Raskin's all right moving forward, and I think Cifuentes is good at carrying the ball forward. It could free up Cantwell to not do as much as the dirty work is like and just be more of an attacking force. Because I think for us to succeed tomorrow night, I think Cantwell is crucial for us, like absolutely crucial. He's going to need to have an absolute stormer. But yeah, I'd say I think him and Danilo are a cert. It's the other one that I'm not sure. I think it's between three of them. I think it's between Matondo, Seema, and Lammers. I never thought I'd be saying that about Matondo, honestly, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I really don't. But for his pace alone, for his pace and his width, the width that he would bring, I think it could be a shout in that. A score, I'll go 2-1 to Rangers.
2-1. I think there'll be goals, mate. I think they will score.
There'll be goals. Yeah.
I am going to go for a strap yourself in 3-2 win for Rangers.
God almighty.
I think it's going to be goals tomorrow night. I just don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I think they're a good outfit, but I think they could get pulled into a battle tomorrow night and getting involved with the crowd, etc. So I think we could be in for a bumper tomorrow night, mate. I'm hoping it's a bumper for us.
I hope it's a bumper for us as well, mate. I am very much looking forward to it. I really can't wait for it. So yeah, we will be back with a reaction pod tomorrow night. It'll probably be myself. I'll definitely be on it, and it maybe Alistair. I'm not 100% sure. I'll need to speak to him tomorrow. But yeah, a massive tie, and it feels like it really does. This is a huge game, but the players say that they want to play at this level, so it's now their turn to go out there and prove that they deserve to be there and take the opportunity with both hands. And here's hoping we have a very memorable night at Ibrox under the lights. Ryan, for tonight, mate, thank you very much.
Thank you, mate. It was good for the A team to be back together again.
Yeah, I know.
I don't mind reminding them of that. No, enjoyed that tonight, mate. Just hoping, I'm hoping Rangers come to the fore. We've just not performed this season the way we all want them to, but we will. We will. There's going to be a game where they turn up, so let's hope it's tomorrow night, and a win would just lift the spirits of everybody and just unify us. So yes, play up, Rangers.
Play up, Rangers, and I hope it's a win. I genuinely hope it's a win, because it'll put the wind absolutely back in ourselves, and I think the players deserve to. Michael Beale deserves a performance from the players now, as you said, mate, for bringing them here and to give them this opportunity. It's time they go take that opportunity. So I'll steal Ali's line. Over to you, Rangers. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night with a reaction video. Hopefully very, very happy. A very, very happy reaction after the game. Before you go, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff, that would be magic. And I'll speak to you tomorrow night. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.